The laugh before the fight. The crowd was loud, very loud. The Zarnok combat arena was filled with thousands of aliens, creatures with horns, tails, glowing eyes, and steel-like skin filled the stands. They were cheering, laughing, shouting. This was the Galactic Open Battle Tournament, a place where the strongest fighters from every system came to prove their power. And today, they had something to laugh at. A human girl was about to fight. She entered the arena quietly, small, young, barely 20. Her name, Lena Kale. She wore no armor, just a plain black suit with a silver wristband. Her hair was tied back. Her face showed no fear, only calm. The crowd laughed harder. Is this a joke? They sent a child. Did humans run out of real fighters? Even the alien commentators joked, ladies and gentle beasts. Our next match is between the Apex champion Draka, the bone-eater, and a girl who looks like she got lost in the wrong galaxy. Lena didn't react. She just walked slowly to her side of the battlefield. The floor beneath her was made of solid black stone. Scars from old battles still marked the ground. On the other side stood Draka, a massive reptilian. Alien, 8 feet tall, covered in red armor made from his past victims. His muscles looked like moving mountains. His eyes glowed orange. He cracked his neck and smiled with sharp teeth. A human, he growled. This will be fast. He raised his arms and roared at the crowd. They cheered wildly. Lena stood still. She didn't smile. She didn't move. In the arena control tower, the match director whispered to his assistant, "Why did Earth send her? Are they trying to embarrass themselves?" The assistant shrugged. "Maybe they just want attention." "They'll get it," the director said, smirking, "but not the kind they want." A loud horn echoed across the arena. The match began. Draka didn't wait. He charged like a wild beast, his heavy boots shaking the ground. The crowd cheered louder. They were ready to see blood. Lena didn't move. 3 seconds in, Draka swung his giant fist toward her face. Everyone leaned forward, but Lena wasn't. There, she had already stepped aside. Quiet, fast. His punch hit air. 4 seconds in. She tapped his ribs with 2 fingers, lightly like touching glass. Draka paused. What? 5 seconds. She moved again, behind him now. Her hand touched the back of his neck. 6 seconds. The crowd was confused. There was no explosion, no screaming, just soft taps. 7 seconds. Draka turned to swing again, slower this time. 8 seconds. Lena ducked, spun. 9 seconds. She punched forward. 1 clean hit to his chest. Boom. Drak. Or flew backwards, 10 feet, through the air. His body crashed into the stone wall. The crowd gasped. Silence. No one spoke. Dust rose, and Draka didn't get up. The announcer's voice cracked through the speakers. "RWE, we have a winner." The camera zoomed in on Lena. Her face was calm. Her hand glowed faintly blue. Then faded. She turned and walked toward the exit. Not even looking back. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't laugh. They sat in frozen silence in the control tower. The match director stood up in shock. "Replay that," slowly, on the screen. The moment of the punch played in slow motion. Lena's hand didn't just hit, it vibrated. A pulse of energy passed through Draka's body like a wave. Internal damage, nerve disruption, energy displacement. "That's not normal," the assistant whispered. "That's not human," the director replied. Backstage, Security bots moved toward Lena. She raised a hand. "No need," she said. "I'm done here." The bot stopped. She walked to a quiet room and sat down, alone, on a distant moon. A group of alien generals watched the footage. One of them stood up quickly. "Get me Earth's military file. Now." Another added, "If they can create one girl like this, how many more do they have?" Back on Earth, in a dark command room beneath the oceans, a woman watched the same footage. General Harlow. She smiled. Slightly. "She's ready," Harlow said. "The galaxy just woke up." Beside her, a scientist nodded. Lena followed exact timing. "The 9-second rule." Harlow leaned forward. "Good. Now we begin phase 2. In the arena, the crowd slowly started whispering. "Who is she? Was that real?" She didn't even look tired. A child in the front row turned to his alien father. "Dad, are humans dangerous?" The father didn't answer. He just stared at the spot where Lena had stood, in the dark, quiet room. Lena closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. A soft voice in her ear buzzed through her comlink. "Lena, your next assignment is ready. Codename Thunderbreak. Are you prepared?" She opened her eyes. "Yes," she said. Let them laugh again. The strike they never sawed. The battle was over. But the noise didn't return. The arena, once the loudest place in the galaxy, had gone silent. Lena Kale had won the fight in 9 seconds. No one clapped. No one cheered. Even the announcer didn't know what to say. In the medical chamber, Draka the Bonita was still unconscious. Doctors worked around his body. Machines scanned him from head to toe. One medic, a 4-eyed insectoid, stepped back, confused. There's no cut, no visible injury, but his bones, every single one, is cracked. Another medic blinked. His nervous system is scrambled. The lead doctor frowned. She didn't break his body. She shut it down. In a locked control room above the arena, the officials replayed the match. Again and again and again. They watched Lena's slow step to the side, her soft hand tap, her calm punch. "How does that create this much damage?" one asked. Another officer checked a sensor log. Her energy spiked just before the final hit. "Was that tech?" "No," the officer said, shaking his head. There was no weapon, no implant. It came from her, from inside her. Back in the quiet chamber, Lena sat on a bench, alone. She was breathing slowly, eyes closed, calm. Her fingers rested on her lap. The glow in her hand was gone now, but inside her deep, quiet energy waited, a hidden force trained to rise only when needed. On a floating space station orbiting planet Korn, a council of alien leaders met. News of the 9-second fight had already reached them. The Zarnok broadcast had been seen in 73 star systems. People were talking, questioning. Is the human military behind this? Was she enhanced genetically? One tall leader, skin like stone, leaned forward. If she is just one human, imagine if Earth has more like her. A short alien commander hissed. They stayed silent for years, watching, preparing. And now, another said, they're sending their ghosts into our arenas. Meanwhile, back on Earth, beneath the deep oceans, inside the quiet core, General Harlow stood in a circular room surrounded by holograms of different planets. She looked calmed, her eyes were sharp. The door opened. A man in a dark coat walked in. "Lena has completed her first test," he said. Harlow nodded. "Good. Are we sending her again?" Harlow replied, "Not yet. Let the fear grow first." In the Zarnok Arena's press wing, reporters from dozens of planets waited for answers. One bold alien journalist asked the arena director, "Was the match rigged?" The director shook his head. "No, that was a real fight." "Then who is she?" "I don't know," the director admitted. "But I'll tell you what I saw. She didn't move like a soldier. She moved like a shadow." Inside her chamber, Lena finally opened her eyes. She tapped her wristband. A hidden voice came through. "Report, Agent Lena." I followed. "The program," she replied. "All 9 seconds, no extras. Physical condition, stable, mental, calm. Next mission." Lena paused. "Not yet," she said. "They're still processing what happened." She stood up. "They need to sit with their fear." Across alien social networks, the video went viral. Memes, reactions, slow-motion breakdowns. Fan pages appeared. 9-second warrior. Some aliens admired her. Others feared her. Some even denied it happened. But the footage didn't lie. One human, one hit, one fallen champion in the back alleys of Gorthsebon. A group of bounty hunters watched the video with narrowed eyes. "She's dangerous," said one. "But she's just a girl," said another. A third, older hunter stood up. "She made a fool of the combat arena. We don't let that go." They opened a contract channel. Target, Lena Kale status, unknown human asset. Reward, 300,000 credits, dead or alive. Back on Zarnak Prime. 3 of the galaxy's biggest media networks launched an emergency panel. Topic: should humans be banned from combat? A retired general argued, "If humans like her enter our leagues, the whole system breaks." A scientist responded, "Then we must understand how she did it, study her technique." But another voice came in a quiet voice from the shadows. Of the screen, it was Axillary historian. She had studied Earth for years. "Everyone is talking about her power," she said. "But they are missing the real danger." The host asked, "What danger?" Selen answered. She was calm. Completely calm. Before, during, after. That means she wasn't lucky. That means she was trained. Inside the quiet core. On Earth, General Harlow watched Salon's words with a smile. "She understands," Harlow said. "Do we act now?" Her assistant asked. "No," she replied. "Let the galaxy keep asking questions." She turned toward a screen showing thousands of dots, each one a human agent in training. "Because the answers will change everything." That night, in her private room on Zarnok Prime, Lena stood by a window, outside. The city lights flickered like stars. She whispered quietly to herself, "They thought I came to fight, but I came to warn them." Why Earth stayed silent. The galaxy had always watched Earth with lazy curiosity. A small blue planet, a late arrival to space travel. No great technology, no empire. No starships larger than city blocks. Too many alien species. Earth was harmless so. Harmless. It was ignored. But Earth had been watching back, and Earth had been listening in silence. Inside the underground base called the Quiet Core, deep beneath Earth's oceans, General Harlow stood in front of a large glass wall. Beyond it, rows of humans trained in silence, balancing on moving platforms, meditating under pressure, fighting in total darkness. They weren't using weapons. They didn't need to. They were learning control, focus, resonance. Each movement, each breath was designed to channel energy through the body. Energy that could only be unlocked through perfect stillness of the mind. Resonant force. The power that allowed Lena Kale to knock out a galactic champion in 9 seconds. Harlow turned as a young officer entered the room. "Status of Lena, stable," he said. "She completed her first mission without injury, and the galaxy, still in shock." Harlow nodded. Double quotes, "Good. Let them stay confused. We trained her for that. 12 years ago, Lena Kale was just another orphan in the post-war districts of Earth. Her parents had died in a border skirmish with a rogue alien faction. She had no one, nothing, but she had something rare, stillness. She didn't cry when other kids cried. She didn't scream when attacked. She simply observed, and the quiet core noticed her. She was taken in, not forced, given a room, food, education, and a purpose to become a shadow the galaxy would never see coming. Lena's training wasn't like the others. While most children learned math and history, Lena was learning inner silence. She spent weeks in cold chambers, blindfolded, told to listen to nothing but her own heartbeat. She fought virtual enemies that screamed at her, insulted her, attacked her without warning, yet she never reacted emotionally. She was trained not to feel anger, but to shape it, not to fear pain, but to move through it. And when her resonant abilities finally awoke, she didn't celebrate. She simply said, "I understand now." Back in the present, inside the alien capital on Zarnak Prime, political leaders panicked. Meetings were held around the clock. Security systems were checked. Alien empires began scanning for other resonant humans. But they found nothing, because Earth had planned for this. Lena was not alone. She was only the first to be revealed. In a quiet cafe on a space station near the Gorn Belt, a disguised human listened to a group of aliens talking about Lena. "She's probably the only one like that," one said. "I heard she used dark tech," another replied. The human smiled softly. He paid for his drink and left. His wristband glowed faintly as he walked. Into the crowd, another shadow, another ghost, another quiet weapon in the Galactic Academy on Telena 3. A young alien cadet named Kezan studied Earth's military records. He found very little, just short notes, limited files, no public footage of training, no shared tech logs. It was as if Earth had hidden everything from the start. Kezan whispered, "How can a planet stay this quiet and then strike so loud?" His instructor, an old scientist, replied, "That is what makes them dangerous." Back at the quiet core, Lena stood in a wide chamber, facing General Harlow. "You made an impression," Harlow said. "I was just doing the mission." "Exactly," Harlow said. "But the galaxy wasn't ready for what that mission meant." Lena looked down at her hand. "They think I'm special." "You are," Harlow replied, "but not because of your power." "Then why?" "Because you didn't use all of it. You held back, and they still couldn't understand what hit them." Lena nodded in the shadows of the Galactic Council. Whispers grew louder. Some alien leaders wanted to ban humans from all combat events. Others wanted to open peace, talks afraid of Earth's secret army. A few radicals even suggested preemptive strikes on Earth before things got worse. But none agreed on a single truth. What else are they hiding? Selen, the alien historian who studied Earth for years, wrote a message to the Council. It was simple. Earth did not stay quiet because it was weak. It stayed quiet because it was learning. Now that it has learned enough, the question is, will we accept them as equals, or force them to become our superiors? Meanwhile, Lena walked through a training garden filled with smooth stones, waterfalls, and soft music. Other resonants trained nearby, but none spoke. They didn't need to. Their minds were sharp, their hearts were steady, their movements were deliberate. One young boy approached Lena. "You're her, right?" he asked. Lena looked at him. Her who? The one from the arena? The girl who made them all afraid? Lena smiled gently. "No," she said. "That was just my shadow." Asterisk. The assassins versus the girl. The bounty was set. Galactic network code. Target 0067. Human female. Name Lena Kale. Reward 500,000 credits. Dead or alive. Last seen Zarnok Prime Combat Arena. Threat level unknown. Approach with extreme caution. The message spread quickly. Every dark corner of space knew her name now. Some called her the Ghost of Earth, others the 9-second death. And to the right buyer, she was worth a fortune. 3 alien assassins answered the call. They met inside a drifting cargo ship beyond the trade lanes. Rax, a tall creature with blade-like arms. Silith, a mind reader who once cracked a warlord's brain with a whisper. And Krulo, a silent sniper who never missed a shot. They didn't care about politics. They didn't care about fear. They cared about money. And this human girl was the ticket to 500,000 credits. Meanwhile, Lena sat inside a quiet meditation room on Zarnok Prime. She was alone, legs crossed, breathing slow. A single light pulsed. Above her, she already knew they were coming. High above. In a hidden control station, General Harlow's voice came through Lena's earlink. 3 inbound. Unregistered entry. No response to security calls. "I know," Lena whispered. "Do you need backup?" Lena opened her eyes, calm and sharp. "No, I'll handle it." The assassins entered the outer perimeter. No alarms. No guards. Everything was too easy. Krulo moved first, climbing the ceiling with his boots, searching for a clear shot. Silith walked the halls, searching for Lena's mental frequency. Rax stood near the main corridor, blades ready. "She doesn't." "No, we're here," Rax grunted. "No," Silith said, touching his temple. "She knows. She's waiting." The door to the meditation chamber slid open slowly. Lena stood in the center, arms behind her back. She didn't move, didn't flinch, just stared at them one by one. Rax stepped forward. "You've got 2 choices. Come with us, or we carry." "Pieces." Lena smiled softly. "You made a mistake," she said. "What's that?" Rax asked, raising his blades. "You thought I was still fighting in the arena." The lights cut, silence, then dash movement, faster than thought. Krulo tried to aim. His rifle shook. The scope blinked, target lost. He fired, but Lena wasn't there. She moved like a shadow between seconds. 1 second, she knocked Krulo from the ceiling with a palm strike. He hit the floor, eyes wide, unconscious. 2 seconds, she ducked Rax's blade swing, stepped into his guard, and drove her fist into his stomach. The blow didn't pierce skin, but the vibration inside, him resonant force shut down every organ. At once, he collapsed without a sound. Only Silith remained. He backed up, panic rising. "You single quotes, You're not just human," he whispered. "I never said I was," Lena said. Walking toward him, Silith reached into her mind, trying to scan her thoughts. He saw fire. He saw oceans. He saw 1,000 still minds, training beneath Earth's surface. He screamed. The mental connection shattered. Lena caught him before he hit the ground. She looked into his eyes. "You came here for credits," she said quietly. "But what you found was truth." Later, in the debrief chamber, Lena stood before a private council of quiet core observers. "You neutralized all three?" the lead agent asked. Lena nodded. "I didn't kill them." "Why not?" "They were scared and useful." On a prison moon nearby, Silith sat alone in a reinforced cell. He no longer tried to read minds. He no longer wanted to. He repeated one sentence. Again and again. "There are more. There are thousands." In the Galactic Council, news of the failed assassination reached all major powers. The footage leaked online. It showed Lena, moving like a blur. Disarming, crippling, winning. Again, some alien senators demanded action. "She is a threat." "She's only one human," said another. Barcelon, the historian, stood again. "No," she said. "She is one of many." Earth has stopped whispering. It has started showing us the cost of our arrogance. Back on Earth, in the quiet, Corps General Harlow spoke to her staff. "They're reacting faster than expected," she said. "But every reaction reveals something new." A scientist replied. "Yes," Harlow agreed. "And every move they make, we already trained for." Lena sat on the balcony of the Zarnok outpost. The stars were quiet. A young guard walked over, holding a news tablet. "Your fight, it's everywhere now," he said. "I didn't do it for the views," Lena replied. He hesitated, then asked, "Why are you really here?" Lena turned to him. "I came to stop what's coming," she said. "But first, the galaxy needs to learn fear." The guard nodded. "And after they fear you," Lena looked up at the stars, "then I'll teach them respect." 9 seconds changed the galaxy the moment Lena Kale struck down the apex predator in 9 seconds. The galaxy began to shift. It wasn't just a fight. It wasn't just a victory. It was a signal. And now, that signal had spread to every system, every empire, every species. Inside the Council of Worlds, 12 alien leaders sat in uneasy silence. The room was cold. The lights dimmed. Footage of Lena's combat replayed once again. The 9-second knockout. The assassins defeated without a scratch. The calm expression on her face after each encounter. One leader growled, "This is not just skill. This is evolution." Another whispered, "Earth hid this for too long." Selin, the historian, stood up. "She wasn't the beginning," she said. "She was the announcement." Across the stars, the galaxy trembled, but not from weapons, from realization. Earth wasn't preparing for war. Earth was preparing for balance. In the quiet core, deep beneath Earth's surface, thousands of resonant humans trained in silent halls. From the youngest to the oldest, each one held the same purpose: peace through strength, power through control. General Harlow walked through the halls, her hands behind her back. "We trained them in the dark," she said to her advisors, "and now one light has shown them all what we are." "They're afraid," her second-in-command said. Harlow nodded. "Good. Let them fear us first. Then let them respect us." Lena stood aboard a diplomatic cruiser bound for Zarathel, the neutral capital of the galaxy. She wasn't there for war. She was invited to speak before the Grand Council, the first human ever to do so. Security was tight. Thousands gathered. Protests. Outside, supporters holding banners that read, 9 seconds was enough. The quiet ones are rising." She stood in silence, surrounded by noise. Just as she had trained, the council hall was massive. Leaders of over 200 species filled the curved seats. Holograms hovered. Lights flashed. Broadcasts ran live to trillions. Lena stood alone on the center platform. No armor. No weapon, only words. The Supreme Chancellor, a tall creature with glassy skin, spoke first. "You are not here as a soldier," he said. "You are here as a message. Speak." Lena looked around the chamber. So many faces, so many eyes. Some filled with fear, some with hatred, some with hope. She spoke calmly. "I came here to end a lie." The room went still. "For years, you looked at Earth and saw weakness. You called us soft, untrained, primitive. You were wrong." A murmur moved. Through the chamber, Lena continued. "We didn't speak because we didn't need to. We didn't show our strength because we weren't ready. But now, the galaxy is watching. And in 9 seconds, you learned something. We are not dangerous because we want war. We are dangerous because we trained for peace and prepared for when it failed." One angry senator stood. "Are you threatening the galaxy?" Lena shook her head. "No, I'm reminding it." She took a step forward. "You feared what I did. You fear what Earth might become. But ask yourselves, why did it take this long for us to respond? Because we were listening. Because we were patient. And because now we will no longer be silent." Back on Earth, the speech echoed across every newsfeed, every space station, every network. Even alien children watched her speak. A small boy in a mining colony turned to his father. "Is she a hero?" The father replied, "No, she's a mirror. She's showing us what we look like when we stop listening." In the war rooms of old alien empires, generals debated new strategies. Should we block Earth from future tournaments? Should we develop anti-resonant weapons? But their leaders had already realized the truth. It was too late for control, too late for fear. The galaxy had changed. One planet, Relix 9, declared it would open its academies to human teachers. Another empire, long hostile to Earth, sent a peace delegation, and across the stars, hidden humans began stepping into the light. Each one trained in silence. Each one carrying the same discipline Lena had shown. The resonant network was no longer a secret. In a quiet room aboard the cruiser, Lena sat with General Harlow through a secure link. "You spoke well," Harlow said. They listened. "For now," Harlow replied, "some will still come after us. They always do." Harlow leaned forward. "And when they do," Lena smiled, "we'll answer." As the cruiser floated through space, Lena walked to the observation deck. She looked at the stars, so many systems, so many empires. All once laughed at Earth. Now they watched it rise. She whispered, "One strike made them see, but many voices will make them change."